I would like to begin this short talk by thanking several individuals who are responsible for my presence on this stage. In all honesty, my presence here has been a group effort and is not due to my work alone. I would like to begin by thanking Matt Mitros, who brought me to the University of Alabama in 2015 and who has been a constant support. I would also like to recognize Paul Catula, Blake Williams, and Jaewon Lee for their mentorship, support, and encouragement. I'd like to thank the emerging artist jurors, and finally I would like to thank my parents for their unwavering support, my partner Ann Herbert for her unwavering patience while I prepared for this conference, Brian Hurt at the Kalamazoo Institute of Arts for mentorship and support, and Ed Harkness at Western Michigan University for igniting my passion for clay. The pivotal stages of one's artistic career are often unrecognizable unless viewed through a perspective lens. And developing such a lens is a survival technique for all emerging artists who find themselves intrinsically connected to the erudite and vacillating nature of the art world. As an individual of advanced years in an early career stage, I've discovered that failure and constant failing is an optimal way to quickly build a strong sense of personal and professional awareness. Failure is absolutely necessary for development to occur in art and also in life. Currently, I teach ceramics and foundations at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. This position provides myriad professional opportunities not unlike this one. However, my role as teacher and mentor are by far the most important tasks that I perform, and I perform them often, teaching between 8 and 10 classes each year. Consequently, much of my mental energy is spent considering my students' well-being and their work. I feel incredibly honored and humbled by the opportunities I've been afforded and look forward to what is yet to come. My 10-year obsession with architectural design continues to inform my ceramic practice, and this ongoing dialogue between clay and architecture has initiated a hierarchical use of materials, including wood, plastic, and lighting, that support and enhance the ceramic objects present in my work. In 2012, I was fortunate to mistakenly enroll in a history of graphic design course that reintroduced me to early 20th century European design schools, most notably the Bauhaus in Germany. In 1919, after experiencing the horrors of World War I, the German artist, designer, and architect Walter Gropius stated in the Bauhaus Manifesto, "The ultimate aim of all visual arts is the complete building." This statement is accompanied by other important declarations, including the need to return to craft in an attempt to subvert elitist art institutions of post-war Germany, as well as the importance of developing a unique sensitivity towards craft for the growth of one's artistic practice. Gropius's statement about architecture's essential role in shaping the culture it reflects is an idea at the fore of my creative research. I have a fervent belief that architectural design and its subsequent construction is a prominent form of new utilitarian sculpture with an experiential power akin to functional ceramics. As is true with the analysis of ancient pottery, contemporary architecture has the ability to act as a societal mental health litmus test. By analyzing stylistic architectural commonalities, modes of production, and the utilitarian objectives of contemporary structures, one might ascertain that the thread connecting our incomprehensibly complex global society is our profound individual sense of disconnection. Prominent architects such as Rem Koolhaas, Herzog and de Meuron, and Zaha Hadid intentionally use conventions of deconstructivism, now ingrained in new architecture, to comment on society's disunion. Stylistic isolationism, disconnection, disharmony, and pastiche. Behind the seemingly cold metallic exteriors and harshly angled and lighted interiors, profoundly human and societal aspects are exemplified and explored. It is through interaction with contemporary architecture that we can come to understand much about our world and ourselves. In 2009, I visited Daniel Liebeskind's Jewish Museum in Berlin. Experiencing this structure transformed me forever. Standing alone in the Holocaust Tower, I felt for the first time the sublime power of contemporary architecture. Surrounded by darkness, the angled walls travel upward, revealing a small opening to the outside. A beam of light pierces through the cold darkness. It is a way out, an end to suffering. In 2012, I traveled to Germany again to conduct art and design research, visiting the Meissen Porcelain Factory, the Royal Porcelain Museum in Dresden, the Bauhaus Archive in Berlin, and the Bauhaus in Dessau. In Dessau, an exhibition of Marcel Breuer architectural models, some situated in topographical landscapes, was on view. Being the only person in the exhibition that day, I was able to spend ample time with these pieces and to get closer than was likely allowed. Experiencing these tabletop pieces changed my approach to ceramics. I began to realize that the bridge between ceramics and architecture is multifaceted and synergetic. A more affable human quality to architecture emerges when the structure is viewed from above and is made from glazed ceramic. The decision to attend Michigan State University for graduate studies was based on two dominant factors. I chose MSU because of the faculty expertise of Paul Cotula, Blake Williams, and Jaewon Lee. I also decided to attend due to the presence of the Eli and Edith Broad Art Museum, designed by Zaha Hadid architects then under construction. Over the duration of the 3-year MFA program, I witnessed much of the construction progress. The result of the daily interaction with the museum embedded the Broad aesthetic in my work. In 2014, I exhibited my thesis work in the new museum. The figured-ground relationship between art and architecture was unexpected and enhanced the impact of many pieces with strong architectonic themes. As a result of this exhibition experience, the way that my pieces are staged within the gallery is incredibly important. The arrangement of the work relates to the overall interior architecture and other works in the gallery. In the future, I intend to explore the ways to seamlessly connect my works to existing building architecture, obscuring the line further between figure and ground. When considering the concept for a new piece, I begin with the design of the non-ceramic components. This is accomplished through the use of digital modeling software. In most cases, even after the digital rendering is complete, I am unsure of the way to construct the wooden pieces so they function as pedestals or tables. The staging of the varied pieces that make up a cohesive sculpture seem intentional. However, much is improvised in the act of making. Dark Cloud, Unknowable Architectures is a recently completed piece and depicts a personal frustration with my very limited ability to understand the world I inhabit. The first part of the sculpture encountered by the viewer is the angled pedestal, meant to cause instability. Housed within the colored vitrine reside two ceramic objects, imagery of a car from the 1960s and two obituaries. The white ceramic piece is an incomprehensible form, meaning when viewed at length and from all angles, it is impossible to recall in memory in exact detail later. Two obituaries etched into fluorescent green acrylic plastic belong to individuals who share my name and who I have never been acquainted. Still, a sense of loss overcomes me when I think of these individuals who have passed, and that they were complete strangers except for this one very important similarity. The black ceramic piece perched above the sculpture's base is reminiscent of the Broad Museum. It is an abstracted dark cloud hovering over everything contained in the vitrine. The ceramic decal image is a photograph of a car owned by Viola Gregliuzzo. a civil rights activist from Michigan who traveled to Alabama to protest the inequality of African Americans in the state in 1965. Miss Liuzzo was found murdered on a rural highway by members of the Ku Klux Klan, not far from where I currently live. Her story is virtually unknown because of the systematic concealment of much of the information concerning the civil rights movement in Alabama. In this piece, I admit my ineptitude to grasp fully the meaning of forms and narratives collected from my surroundings. However, I feel a connection to them because they reflect a part of me. Being a citizen and artist of this moment in history, I feel it is my duty to create work in response to the ambiguity, instability, and complexity that embodies our current state of existence. I believe that using concepts reserved for contemporary architecture in my ceramic sculpture is a powerful vehicle for commentary. As my practice develops, I see each new piece as a physical question mark. The questions that I posit have no defined answers. However, through asking the question, I find evidence that we are profoundly connected by our inability to comprehend the unknowable depth and breadth of our connectedness. Thanks.